What's up, guys? It's Ben from My Sports Stop, as always, here with Richie Donnell. Our scouting report today is on Texas running back Foreman. He had a big year with the Longhorns.
Yeah, I think for many, this was a breakout year for him, as a lot of the news coming out of Austin, Texas had more to do with Charlie Strong than it did any of the players actually on the team. Foreman was probably their biggest bright spot this year in terms of the entire offense. He was really the only consistent piece that they had, and he did something that not a whole lot of people do, and he topped 2,000 yards rushing as a college running back. And I think the real last time that Texas had a good running back was probably Jamal Charles, when he was there with Vince Young. Yeah,
I think something we're always going to be talking about with Foreman is his size.
Yeah.
He's got, you know, he's a guy as big as maybe an Eddie Lacy or a LeGarrette Blount.
Yep.
How do you think that's going to go in the NFL?
Well, I think Eddie Lacy was such big news that a lot of these bigger guys, you're going to see them take the steps needed and the measurables in order to stay in shape. Whether that means he's got to cut weight and lose something, or that just means that he's just going to be a freak machine like Derrick Henry, who's at his side just pure muscle for the most part. Whichever way he goes, I think all the bigger types of running backs are going to do something, because Eddie Lacy just created such a buzz with how Green Bay handled that situation.
Now, he actually has a surprising amount of acceleration. You see that burst, you see that breaking speed. That's definitely something that can be used on the pro level.
When you have that burst, it definitely helps, especially in between the tackles, because sometimes that hole is only open for a second or even a half a second that you need to get there and you need to go now. And that gives him an advantage at his size, because once he comes through that line, you're talking about linebackers at 220 pounds trying to tackle this just behemoth of a man, and once he lowers the pads or lowers the boom on you, it's not going to be a good day.
Now, in this draft, we have a lot of different receiving backs. We know Cook can catch. We know McCaffrey can do just about everything. Foreman, not really a receiving back. He had about less than 10 catches. Is that something that can be learned going into the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I think in any system you can kind of teach that. Maybe run some screens where it's not necessarily where he's running down the field trying to get open. Just give him some short yardage stuff where they can just dump it to him and he can turn and get upfield. There aren't many running backs left who can't catch the football per se. A lot of them can. And need to be that all-around back. So he's kind of a more old-school back who just, you turn around, you give him the ball, and you let him work. He's very similar to Derrick Henry in that aspect. You know, somebody who got drafted recently, you know, that didn't necessarily catch the ball a whole lot, but is just a load and a freak trying to bring him down.
Now, I know you really like this guy. Where do you think he's going to be selected as far as rounds go?
Yeah, I think he could be a first-round talent. It's really going to depend on what I think he weighs in at the combine. If he uses this time to cut weight and show teams that he's serious about making sure that he's in tip-top shape, or when they do all those types of tests and they prick and prod him, how that turns out I think is going to have a lot to do with it. Certain guys, when you look at their 40, he might not have necessarily the best 40, but when you look at his 10-yard split, you talk about the explosion. That's going to be something that teams are really going to look at, because they understand this guy's not going to be breaking off 80-yard runs every other play like some backs are capable of.
But he could.
It's just not something that you think of when you think of Foreman. You think of a more shorter yard back who just kind of works his way down the field picking up yards.
Yeah, I think once McCaffrey gets selected, and I think that's going to be first, second round, I think we could see a real run on running backs. Guys like Kamara, Samaje Perine, Foreman's in that conversation. So I'm going to say somewhere mid-second round. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to go on our website, mysportstop.com, for more original videos.